Shalom, everybody. Thanks for joining me here at Each One Reach One, man. I appreciate you guys, your time, your dedication to being edified, man, to studying, to drawing near unto our power. That's what's up. That's exactly what's up. My kind of people, those kind of people who are after the Lord's heart. You know what I mean? Thanks for stopping by. You know, you got to have a thirst for righteousness, right? That can't be quenched. I do. And you tend to attract other people to you that are like yourself. So again, my shout out to those of you who are out there just like myself, man. Keep it up. Keep doing things for the right reasons. All right. Because there's a lot that men do in this truth, and they don't do it for the right reasons. They like to lord over you. They do things for the ability to lord over you, to control you, to be able to point to you and say, you're not doing such and such. That's the only reason why they do certain things, just so they can point the finger at you and condemn you for not doing X, Y, and Z, right? Not for the right reasons. You can't fool the Most High, right? He cannot be fooled. He knows your hearts. He knows your intentions. He knows the reasons behind the things that you do. So you can trick men, you can trick people, right, into believing that you're righteous and you're upright, but you can't fool the Most High, and you can't fool the elect either. We see you. With that said, let's begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory to our Heavenly Father, the Most High Yahawah, who comes in the name of His blessed Son, our beloved Lord and Savior, Hamalak, Hamashiach, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWAH. You see the title? You should have a guesstimate of why we're here, but I won't hold you. Not so fast, lawkeeper. Not so fast. Slow down. Let's break this down. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 58. Laws and ordinances. This is our next video in that series, and we're going to be talking about the subject you see on the screen, right? Observances of fast. I wasn't going to do another part to the law and ordinance series, but you know, I can say whatever I want to say, but the Most High will move me in the spirit however He sees fit. And what have I been saying a lot lately? You know, a lot of people talking about fasting and so forth. A lot of people talking about, you know, this is March, and you know, we got this day, that day, all these different days to observe. And, you know, they're sending out these notifications to the community telling them, hey, you know, be aware, we got all of these different days coming, right? And then with that, I began to see, you know, their output after that, which is basically, you know, the finger pointing, the I'm holier than thou. I'm standing up here high on the mountain and you're beneath me like a bunch of peasants because you aren't observing all of these days. You don't fast, so the Most High ain't dealing with you. You ain't getting any truth or any understanding because you only get truth and understanding via fast. So, you know, this is the nonsense that has brought me to this video. And if it brought me here and you're listening, that means it's brought you here too. And the Most High wants you to hear this. All right. So observances of fast. Cry loud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet and show my people their transgression and the house of Jacob their sins. Yet they seek me daily and delight to know my ways, as a nation that did righteousness and forsook not the ordinance of their power. They ask of me the ordinances of justice. They take delight in approaching to the Most High. Wherefore have we fasted? Why have we fasted, say they, and thou seest not? Wherefore have we afflicted our soul, and thou takest no knowledge? They're crying out, asking the Most High because they're fasting, but they aren't getting things their way. Things aren't going their way. They aren't getting what they're petitioning Him for. Why? But I thought a fast automatically unlocked the door to the Most High, and He immediately said, come on in, come on in. You're fasting. Come on in and talk to me. Have a seat, kick up your feet. Tell me what it is you need. Because I delight in you fasting. And the only way I'm going to hear is if you fast. So you're fasting. Now come on in. Talk to daddy. Talk to your father. Tell me what it is you need, son. Tell me what it is you need, my daughter. That's how they see the Most High, right? No respect and no understanding. No real reverence, right? They think they can fool him. They think they can just do these things that men require of them, that men tell them they got to do, and that's going to open up the door. That's going to give them the keys to come directly to him and have their needs met, right? That's not how it works. That's the reason why they here, we're having to ask this question: why have we fasted and thou seest not? Why have we afflicted our soul and thou takest no knowledge? The answer: behold, in the day of your fast ye find pleasure and exact all your labors. That's one answer. You're not fasting correctly. Behold, ye fast for strife and debate. You fast for what? Strife and debate. He knows your heart. He knows why you fast. And that's what these men and women do in the truth right now, these so-called law keepers. They fast for strife and debate. They fast to have the ability to beat on their chest and say, I'm better than you. I can argue with you about this. I can berate you about this because I'm doing this. If I'm doing this, you should be doing this. If I can do this, you can do this too. They're not doing it for the right reason. Their reasons have nothing to do with the Most High or righteousness. They seek to get their righteousness by their works of the law of Moses. They think that they can earn their way into his good graces, that there are certain things like fasting that they can be doing in order for them to have the keys tossed to them, to be able to get their petitions met, to be able to have it their way in life, right? They think what they're doing is pleasing and delightful to the Most High. But if that was the case, why would this be the case? And if that was the case, why would our people still be at the bottom who are fasting, right? And fasting is supposed to get you rewards. What is your reward for fasting? What have you gained? Right? But continuing on, behold, ye fast for strife and debate, and to smite with the fist of wickedness. Ye shall not fast as you do this day, to make your voice to be heard on high. Right? Like your voice ain't gonna be heard on high. You can't fast the way you're fasting and think that your voice is gonna be heard by me. What is your problem? And so as his mouthpiece, I need to ask you people, what is your problem? Why do you believe that you can fast this way and your voice is going to be heard on high? Because you think the Most High don't see you. You think he doesn't know your thoughts. He doesn't know your intentions because you don't know him. You have no real relationship with him, so you don't know him. And you disrespectfully think that you can try to do these things to be men pleasers, to be accepted by men, and that the Most High will take delight in it. Your reasons are to not be ostracized by the group. That's why you fast, because you've been told to, because men told you to, because you feel like if you don't, you're going to be pushed out of the group. You're going to be ostracized. You're going to be condemned. You're going to be kept at arm's distance. You're not going to be allowed in the club. You ain't going to get to be from the set. You ain't meeting the requirements of our gang. And we're going to deal with you a certain way. We're going to talk to you and about you a certain way. That's going to make you feel condemned, convicted, and guilty. And it's going to make you feel like you're alone in this walk because you can't ride with us. You can't walk with us. You're not doing as we do. That's what they do. They love to lord over you and exert control over the people. So they fast for strife and debate, and to smite with the fist of wickedness, and think their voices are going to be heard on high. That's what's going on in our nation today. No one is fasting for righteous reasons because they believe that this is the the way to get closer to the Most High. That's not really why they do it. They do it because men are telling them that's what they got to do in order to be close to the Most High. Not because they really believe that themselves, because that's what they're told. So they're doing what men are telling them. They aren't doing it for the Most High's sake. They're doing it for theirs and for the sake of being men pleasers. That's why they're doing it. That's why their petitions are not being met. That's why their voices are not being heard on high. Verse 5. Is it such a fast that I have chosen? A day for a man to afflict his soul? What's I was asking? Is this the reason why I chose, I want you guys to fast? Is this the kind of fast that I have chosen? No, they're not doing the kind of fast the Most High has chosen. They're doing as commanded by men, the traditions of men, the commandments of men, right? Is it such a fast that I have chosen? A day for a man to afflict his soul? Is it to bow down his head as a bulrush and to spread sackcloth and ashes under him? Is this the kind of fast I've chosen? He's asking, wilt thou call this a fast and an acceptable day to Yahawah? And that's what they're doing. They're calling this, that's what they're calling a fast. They're calling that an acceptable day to Yahawah. Is not this the fast that I have chosen? Here it comes. He's about to tell you. It's not what you think. It's not what you say. This is what it is. Now, when you hear this, ask yourself, does this line up with these law keepers, these law pushers, these camp folks, these folks with these different channels and these different Israelite groups that are out here forcing on you and pushing on you that you must do it? You're not righteous if you're not doing this. Is this the reason? Is this what they're doing? Listen, is not this the fast that I have chosen? To loose the bands of wickedness, to undo the heavy burdens? No, they're laying burdens on you. And to let the oppressed go free, and that ye break every yoke? No, they're not trying to break every yoke. They're trying to bring you under every yoke they can thrust upon you. That's what they're doing. They're not doing it for this purpose. Is it not to deal thy bread to the hungry, and that thou bring the poor that are cast out to thy house? How many of them you think are doing this? When thou seest the naked, that thou cover him, and that thou hide not thyself from thine own flesh? You think these men are doing this? And women? No, they're not. Then shall thy light break forth as the morning. Then, meaning if you're doing the stuff he just named, then shall thy light break forth as the morning, and thine health shall spring forth speedily, and thy righteousness shall go before thee. Exactly, you're right. Their righteousness shall go before them, meaning it's going to be evident to everyone who comes across them. You're going to be able to see their righteousness. You're going to be able to see the glory of the Lord upon them. But you don't see it. You see evil, wickedness, striving, contention, right? Animosity, venom, vitriol, right? These are all the things that you see. Egos, pride, men exalting themselves. That's what you see. You do not see their righteousness going before them. The glory of Yahawah shall be thy reward. Right, if you do these things for this reason. But they don't do it for this reason. They do it to be acceptable of men. So verily, they have received their reward. Verse 9, then shalt thou call. Then, only after you've done it for these reasons, then shalt thou call, and Yahawah shall answer. Thou shalt cry, and he shall say, here I am. If thou take away from the midst of thee the yoke. What? If thou take away from the midst of thee the yoke, not put it on, take away from the midst of thee the yoke. The putting forth of the finger and speaking vanity. And if thou draw out thy soul to be hungry and satisfy the afflicted soul, Then shall thy light rise in obscurity, and thy darkness be as the noonday. And Yahawah shall guide thee continually, and satisfy thy soul in drought, and make fat thy bones. And thou shalt be like a watered garden, and like a spring of water whose waters fail not. Okay? You got to do it for the right reasons. You can't just do anything and think that it's going to be acceptable to the Most High. He doesn't require you to just do stuff. Everything that he had the people do, there was a reason for it. There's a reason for it. And he doesn't require you now to do everything that he commanded them to do. Back then, there was a reason for everything. There's a way in which he wants you to do everything. You can't just be out here talking about, I'm keeping all of these days and so forth, and you're not doing everything that comes along with the observance of the day. Pretty much all of these feast days and all of these different days has some sort of sacrifice that came along with it, whether fast or guilt offering, sin offering, trespass offering, burnt offering, this offering, that offering, something. But you can't do any of that. And the priests and the temple, the tabernacle was also necessary. But you have no priest, right? You have no temple. We don't live in our own community. We don't live in our own society. So we can't have our own laws to govern us. It makes no sense for anybody continuing to try to tell you that we are supposed to be held under laws and we do not even have our own land. The laws were laws of the land. The laws and the land went together. He told us to obey the ordinances of the law of the land that we're in, to obey the kings and princes of the law of the land that we're in, because he raised them up above us. He put them in place. He appointed them. He's responsible for the rules and the laws and ordinances they put in place. He's responsible for when you get your ass beat, when you get thrown in jail. He is responsible. And if, again, like I keep saying, if we were to try to live by the laws and the ordinances and the law of Moses, we will all be on death row. We would all be on death row, man. I'm serious. It's crazy because a lot of it involved killing and stoning and dealing with people harshly for certain offenses. We can't do any of that. And for all these people who claim that they are, where's the proof? You claim that you believe the law is in effect, but I don't see a bunch of news stories about Israelites stoning people. I don't hear it. I don't hear it. So they're full of shit, right? Zechariah chapter 7, verse 5. Speak unto all the people of the land and to the priests, saying, when ye fasted and mourned in the 5th and 7th month, even those 70 years, did ye at all fast unto me, even to me? And when ye did eat, and when ye did drink, did not ye eat for yourselves and drink for yourselves? See, because the Most High is telling you that, you don't, these folks aren't out here eating and drinking for the Most High. They're doing it for themselves. They're not fasting for him. They're doing it for themselves. They're not fasting unto him. They didn't do it. They fasted for themselves for the same reason that men and women fast now, to be found acceptable unto men, to not be a cast out, to not have anybody pointing a finger at them. They're not doing it for righteous reasons. They're doing it just so they can be accepted, just to be made to feel guilty, to not be pushed out of the brotherhood or the sisterhood or the familyhood or the nationhood. That's why they did it then. That's why they're doing it now. They're not doing it for the right reasons. Your fast is not acceptable unto him. He sees you. He sees you, man. Matthew chapter 6. Matthew chapter 6, verse 16. Fasting, the true treasure, right? Moreover, when ye fast, this is Hamashiach YAHAWASHI, red letter. Let's see what he has to say. Moreover, when ye fast, be not as the hypocrites of a sad countenance, for they disfigure their faces, that they may appear unto men to fast. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. What's the problem? They're hypocrites. They want everybody to know that they're fasting. You're not supposed to fast and let everybody know that you're fasting. It's not. You're not supposed to do that. It's not supposed to be a matter of men pleasing or wanting people to know. You're supposed to do it for the right reason, not to be looked at as righteous by other men. That's your reward. Being looked at as righteous by other men, that's your reward. When you sound the alarm about your fast, you're seeking for a reward from men. Same thing when these men get on these videos and start talking about, oh, I'm about to fast, or yeah, I just finished fasting, or yeah, I'm in the process of fasting right now. They're looking for their reward from men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. But thou, when thou fastest, anoint thine head and wash thy face, that thou appear not unto men to fast, but unto thy Father, which is in secret. What? You're supposed to fast unto our Father, which is in secret, which is in secret. It's not in secret if you're sounding the horn and telling everybody. That is not an acceptable fast. That thou appear not unto men to fast. Men are supposed to know that you're fasting, that you just finished fasting, that you're about to fast. It's supposed to be between you and our Father, which is in secret. And thy Father, which seeth in secret, shall reward thee openly. Right? That's the deal. That's the deal. See, so I don't buy it when these people are out here talking about fasting. All I hear, what I hear is an attempt at men to get their righteousness by works of the law, by men wanting to be seen as righteous by other men, because they want to be looked up at, right? They want to be idolized and worshiped and pedestalized. They're not doing it for the right reason. I don't buy it. We don't believe you. And the Most High see you, right? So that's all I really wanted to bring out, for this video. But just because I just finished talking about it and it's on my mind, I'm gonna throw a little bonus in, a little bonus coverage. All right, little bonus coverage for this video. Y'all bear with me. This wasn't in the plan, but we're gonna do it anyway. Just because. Why not, right? Laws and ordinances, right? Deuteronomy chapter 22. Verse 13. Laws of morality. Laws of morality. If any man take a wife and go in unto her and hate her and give occasions of speech against her and bring up an evil name upon her and say, I took this woman, and when I came to her, I found her not a maid, she wasn't a virgin. Then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity unto the elders of the city in the gate. How many of y'all are doing this, right? I need to ask, how many of you law pushers, you law keepers, supposedly, your law lovers, supposedly, how many of you are getting that token of your daughter's virginity? How many of you are doing this? How many of you are keeping this practice? It's the law, right? Right? When your daughter loses her virginity, you're supposed to have a token of her virginity that you keep, so that The men she get with can't say she wasn't a virgin. She wasn't a virgin when I met her. So the parents come out and say, no, look at this bloody sheet right here, man. Look, let me show you. Damn liar. So, law lovers, how many of you guys perform this custom, right? How many of you guard your daughter's virginity this way? How many of you? None of you. None of you, right? What you supposed to do if your daughter loses her virginity and you live in your dad's house, lose your virginity, and you're married to the man that you lost your virginity to, where you shouldn't be married. You can't be married into the man you lost your virginity to if you're still living in your father's house or your mother's house, to put it in current context for those of you who your fathers aren't in the home, right? What are you supposed to do to this girl, to this young lady, when she is found to not be a virgin? She loses her virginity just out whoring, just out being a fast-tailed little girl. What are you supposed to do? Stone her, right? Stone her. Many of you in this truth have daughters who you should have stoned if you really believed in the law still being in effect. Why you ain't put that work in? Why you ain't do what the law tells you to do? Because you're full of shit? Sounds about right. Sounds about right. But let's continue though, right? Then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity unto the elders of the city in the gate. It almost sounds like this law was a land law, like this law was attached to being in our own land. But continuing on, that's just me. Maybe I'm just a bug out fucking Israelite, right? Connecting dots that aren't really supposed to be connected. Verse 16, and the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man to wife, and he hated her. And lo, he hath given occasions of speech against her. He's talking shit about my baby. He's besmirching her name and her reputation and her honor, saying, I found not thy daughter a maid, and yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity, and they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city. How many could you even do this? No, you couldn't, because you weren't there. Your daughter lost her virginity and you in secret. You had no idea, right? No idea when it happened. But you know that she's out there having sex. Eventually it comes to a point where you know she's out there having sex, right? When does the stoning take place? Ain't heard it not one time in my entire days of living have I heard about some girl being stoned because she was found not a virgin by her parents or by the other people of the city or the town or the community. Haven't heard it not one time. But yet the law is still in effect, though, they say. This law is still in effect. Everything ever instituted is still in effect throughout all times, they say. Claim they love the law, they say. Keeping of the whole law, they say. The proof says different. Verse 18, and the elders of that city shall take that man and chastise him, and they shall immerse him in 100 shekels of silver, damn, and give them unto the father of the damsel, because he has brought up an evil name upon a virgin of Israel, and she shall be his wife. He may not put her away all his days. Ain't nobody out here who claim they're lovers of the law found their daughter to not be a virgin. They didn't stone her, right? They didn't make the man or the boy, the guy who took her virginity, marry her. None of that went down, right? None of it went down, but they love the law. They abide by the law, they say. But if this thing be true, and the tokens of virginity be not found for the damsel, then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house, and the men of her city shall stone her with stones, that she die, because she hath wrought folly in Israel, to play the whore in her father's house. So shalt thou put evil away from among you. What would happen? Come on, Israel, let's keep it real. What would happen if we were keeping this custom? What would happen? Prison, going away forever. Death penalty, if it's available in that state, or at the very least, you finna go away forever, ever. Right? They wouldn't have this. They wouldn't have it. That's why you don't do it. You don't keep these customs. You don't keep this tradition. You don't keep this law. Because it's the law. Law of morality. Laws on morality. Right? Verse 22. If a man be found lying with a woman married to a husband, then they shall both of them die. Oh, how many times have this happened among the Israelite community? How many times? How many times? Did the woman get stoned? I mean, did the man get stoned and the woman, right? Why? Because then they shall both of them die, both the man that lay with the woman and the woman. So shalt thou put away evil from Israel. How come we ain't out here killing men and women that are hooking up, that shouldn't be hooking up because the woman is married? If a man be found lying with a woman married to a husband, it says nothing here about him being married, right? Because him being married is not a problem. It's whether or not the woman is married. He can't have sex with another man's wife. It don't matter if you're a married man. You can have sex with other women if you want to, as long as they aren't married to another man, right? So why isn't this being kept, fam? We know this is happening every day in Israel. This is happening even among the awakened community. No repercussions though, right? But you're law lovers, right? You're law keepers, right? If a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed unto a husband, and a man find her in the city and lie with her, then ye shall bring them both out unto the gate of that city, and ye shall stone them with stones that they die. The damsel, because she cried not, being in the city, and the man, because he hath humbled his neighbor's wife. So thou shalt put away evil from among you. We know this is going on, but still no reports of the stonings. The stonings not happening. Don't hear about it, but we love the law, right? But the law is still in effect. The law, statutes, and commandments, right? All their favorite line. They love it. Makes them feel good inside to say the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord is still in effect. Makes them feel good. But they're hypocrites. They don't abide by the law. There's certain things that they do and they keep, and they hypocritically lord over you because of those few things that they actually do. But they're supposed to be keepers of the entire law. If the law is still in effect, that means all of it. Don't cherry pick. Don't cherry pick. Right? But unto the damsel, thou shalt do nothing. Oh, wait, let's go back to 25. But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die. But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For as when a man riseth against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this matter. For he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried, and there was none to save her. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her, and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he hath humbled her, and he may not put her away all his days. Look. Law, statutes, commandments, all these laws, everything's still in effect, but ain't nobody doing this, right? Let me ask you a question. How much is 50 shekels, fam, of silver? Most of you don't even know. Do we use shekels? No. When do we use shekels? In our damn land. That was our currency in our land. You see the tie? The laws being attached to the land, man. How does this apply to us today? We deal in dollars, not shekels. You know, you may be in some other part of the world. You don't deal with dollars. You got different types of currency. This was, it's specific. It doesn't say, you know, it doesn't say money, right? Which would cover whatever kind of, you know, currency you're using. It says 50 shekels of silver because it's specific. It's been so specific because the people in this time in the land, this was the currency. So this could apply to them, but it can't apply to you now. It can't apply to you now, and it doesn't apply to you now, right? People are out here talking this foolishness, but we can't allow people to just say any old kind of dumb thing to us anymore. We are no longer babes in this walk. Shake the spell. Come out from under the pimp doctrine. Learn to reason and to use your common freaking sense. Come on. Come on. We got to stop the madness, man, because it is indeed madness, man. We obey the commandments. The commandments are still in effect. The commandments are still in effect. We can keep all the commandments in this time, except for observing the Sabbath, right? The only way you can do that is if you have a type of employment that would allow you to have the freedom to keep it. The Most High knew we would be working in the society, that we would have to work for our daily bread, and that the way things are set up, you may have to work on the Sabbath. The Most High ain't trying to have you out here starving or homeless just to keep the Sabbath day. What kind of father do you think that we have, man? That he cared more about a day than he cared about you? That you're supposed to turn down a job and be homeless, be out in the street, sleeping in your car, maybe not even in your car. Because you don't have one, right? See, you guys put things on our Father that shouldn't be placed on him. You call him unrighteous and unloving. You're calling him a tyrant and unreasonable when you're saying that all of these laws are still in effect for us today. That's what you're saying. I ain't saying that. We got to get it together. With that said, let us give all praise, all honor, and all glory unto the Most High Yahawah, Bahashem Hamashiach, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWAH Kadash. I'll see you guys on the next one. Shalom.